Hello, my name is Trudy, and I'm one of the developers of Design Packs, a Shopify app that allows you to add new sections and templates to your existing theme. Today, I want to talk about product pages. A robust product page is a great way to improve conversions for your Shopify store. You want to give your customers as much information as possible to feel confident that your product is the right product for them. Engaging content like videos, stories, and lifestyle photography can also be a persuasive tool. There are two really good ways to do this with Shopify 2.0, and those ways are product templates and Metafields. Your unique product catalog will determine which one is the best option for you. Product templates are great when you have distinct categories of products. For example, t-shirts, sweaters, pants, shoes. You could make a product template for each of these categories and then add specific information related to that category into each template. This would mean all t-shirt templates would have the same content and pants would have their own specific content. The upside to this method is that in this case, you'll only need to make 4 templates, and it's relatively easy to manage. If you make a change to the shoe template, for instance, all the shoe products will be updated. This is especially helpful when you have a very large catalog of products and or you change the products in your shop often. The downside to this is that you won't get to have very fine-grained product-specific data for each template. Let's look at an example. So I made this product page called Converse based on the default product page. And I just added a couple sections. So I added a value icon section and a banner that links to a collection. So in this case, the icons are canvas, machine washable, and quality stitching, which makes sense for the All-Star Classic. However, if we switch over to another product, the Converse leather, these icons don't really make sense anymore for this product. So we'll want to make a new template with different icons. So all we have to do is go up here, go to products, create template, and then we'll call this leather, and then we'll base it off of the Converse template. So we'll start with all of the stuff filled in already. So create template, change to the product that we just want to look at, and then we'll see that it's exactly the same. But now what we can do is we can change these. So I'm going to change canvas to leather. And I'm going to change machine washable to waterproof. And we'll keep quality stitching. So in this way, we can see that the leather shoe has different options than the canvas shoe. So if I save that, and then we go over here, go back to the Converse, same product, because it's just showing us an example, but we have different icons. So you can see how this is very useful if you have like just 2 separate products or a couple different categories that will all have the same information. But if you want to get into having more unique information, we're going to have to go to Metafields, which is a lot more initial setup, but is very useful in the long run, especially if you're not changing your products all that much. So you only have to do it one time. Metafields have existed for quite a while in Shopify. However, Shopify has rolled out a new Metafield paradigm. The old Metafields were useful, but were a bit clunky and definitely not that user-friendly for the average merchant. Now it's quite easy for anyone to make Metafield and to get the specific type of content you want in the Metafield, which makes the long-term maintenance a lot easier because it's a lot easier to do it yourself or train other people to do it. It's less prone to sort of errors, like even spelling errors were a problem with the old Metafields. And with Online Store 2.0, merchants can now connect these Metafields themselves wherever they desire in the theme editor right here. The upside to Metafields is you get a huge amount of variability and control, and the downside is that it can be a lot of initial setup and a lot of continued work if you're changing products or you have a really large category and you want to add things or whatever over time. To see how Metafields are made, we can just go to directly to the product page. So I'm just going on the classic shoe. And then we scroll down to the bottom and it shows Metafields. I've made a couple of them just to speed up this video. So I've already made feature, image, and value props 1 and 2. But to create more, you go to show all, and then this will show you all of your Metafields. And then you can go to view definitions. And then here we can just add a definition. So I'm just going to copy this and make a 3rd value prop image. So if we add a definition, give it the name, and it's going to automatically make a namespace that you're not really going to have to worry about too much. And then you select the type of content. So you select the content type that you would like. So in this case, we want a file. And then you can define it here. So you can either do accept all types of file or just accept image or video. In this case, we just are going to accept images. And this is why I say it's better for maintenance, because then you can actually only add images. And then we also want the value prop just text. Add a definition. This is going to be 3. You can also create a description that will describe what you want to go here. Select a content type, and then we're just going to go for single line text. And you also have the option of one value or list of values. I'm not going to get into that difference today. And you also can set validation or rules to the metafields. These things are helpful because it just makes it more maintainable, because people will have to stick within the rules. The other thing is we're going to want to have the collection text and the collection URL for that banner. So collection text. And this is also going to be like a single line of text. And we're going to add collection URL. And this type is going to be a URL. Another exciting thing is that Shopify just added these metafields to the bulk editor. So we could add these things here, but then we'd have to do it one product at a time. Whereas now we can go select all these products and then edit products. And then you can see they're here, and then you add columns. And now the Metafield columns are here. So we can just select everything we want. Although you can see here that we already have quite a few Metafields for just a few small things, so they can like add up pretty quickly. Okay, since I haven't created like a whole bunch of collections, I'm just gonna use the same collection URL. So I'm just copying, pasting this in here for all of them. And then the collection text is going to be like, for the value prop 3, this is going to be the third one. Then what we can do is select the image for the image. So and I'm not going to make you watch the rest of me setting this up. So now like our metafields are all set up. So if we go back to these options, instead of just setting an image here like statically, we can change it and say connect dynamic source. And then we connect the dynamic source, it'll give you the options that will work with it. So in this case, it's going to give us all the file options, but it won't give us like the text options because this is an image and it requires something that is an image. So I'm going to show here, and it's going to be value image prop 1. And you can see that it's the same because on this particular product, it is the same. However, if we now go to the leather one, you'll see that this is now leather. It still says canvas because we haven't updated that yet. But yes, so now, and then we go back to say the classic, and it says it's canvas. So we can go back here and set the actual text. Instead of this, we'll insert dynamic source by clicking here. And now it only gives us the options that would go the single line text options. So we go value prop 1. And as you can see that I just accidentally put it inside the original canvas. And you could do this as well. Like you can combine static data and variable data. And you can see just to, show the point. If we go back here to leather, it's going to be leather inside of this canvas word. I mean, obviously that's not what we want, but if you wanted to, you could combine dynamic and static data in the same field. So we go back here. I'm going to, get rid of this. You can also put multiple dynamic datas in here. So I could put like title, and then it's going to be there. And then we do the same thing with this. So again, and then save. And then so it shows up the same here because this is the base product. If we go back and change and go back to the leather, you'll see now we have different options. And if we go and change to the fancy one, again, so now the third option will be unique design. And so you can have like this fine-grained options for all of your product pages, and everything can be like slightly unique. So the next thing we want to do is set the banner. So we can just go to here and do the same thing. choose dynamic source, featured image, and then we go to the blocks and we set, instead of classics, we choose the collection text. And then for the primary link, we choose the collection URL. And so now everything's set up, and you can see anywhere where you have this little database symbol, you can insert dynamic data, and it'll take the type of data that it is. So like, obviously this is going to be set to color. So we don't have any color metafields available specifically to the product, so it's not going to give us, but it gives you the option to like create a metafield, which will take you back to the area where you're creating the product, or the product metafields. And so now we can see if we start changing the products again, if we go down here, you'll see like it's the same word, but different background image. And we go to leather, and we'll have a different background image again. Go to this one, and we have like the same background image that we started with, because we're still using that one as well. And this just creates like a little bit of a more dynamic page in which you can see that like all the products get their like unique selling points. Like this one again is like unique design, canvas, machine washable. Like you can fine grain exactly what is being shown on the product page. And I think this is really helpful. Like the metafields are very useful. Now, there's still limitations to what can be done with these two methods. For example, if you want to have, say, 3 value icons on one product and 4 on another, there's not a good way to do this without needing it to be specifically coded. For instance, all of our products have 3 value icons because we've set up 3 value icons. So if one value icon is missing, it's not going to make any sense, or it's going to look broken, or the image is going to be missing. So we have to plan out our products to have 3 icons for every product. If you want to have variable amounts, it can be done, but it does require specifically custom coding. But once you combine the idea, like the power of the templates, the metafields, and custom codings, the options for 2.0 become almost endless. But I still think there's still like a lot of opportunity for just merchants being able to do it on their own and setting up all of these options without having to go pay for coding. And then once you get everything done that you can do without coding, then that's the time when you can go to a developer and just get those portions done. But it's such a great tool for both merchants and developers.